Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Dobby.
G-I-H-F.
What does that even mean?
Yes.
Goat in human form.
And this is Taking the Charge. So if you guys weren't aware, obviously last week we weren't able to get that video out simply because there's half that week was cut off going into the All-Star game.
Yeah.
Obviously we know that. And then half of this week as well was cut off. So what we decided was we were just going to combine the two and make it into one video for you guys. So going back now 2 weeks now essentially to last Sunday. Not this one that we're recording today, but the one prior. Obviously we had a couple great games there going into the All-Star break.
My Bucks, baby.
The Bucks taking down the Clippers. What a big game that was.
Yeah, 105-100. Both really good teams, ranked in the top 10 in our power rankings.
Yeah.
So, I mean, great to see running dunk, man.
Yeah. In addition, Sunday, we also saw Malik Monk hitting an and one game winner going to the line to clutch that game out.
He did.
Pretty impressive stuff there from him.
Yeah, and I know someone that actually knows Malik Monk.
Really?
My college roommate played basketball on his high school team.
Did you play basketball on the high school team?
I played basketball on the high school team. Did you?
Maybe not.
Or middle school?
Regardless, I was cut. That's a story for another time, Alan. I got cut wrongfully. Wrongfully cut, I tell you. But again, also on Monday, Tatum also hit a game winner over the Wizards.
Still not a top 5 player.
I never said he was.
Nope, he's not.
He's definitely not.
No debate.
But the Celtics
Sorry.
have been looking good recently.
They've been looking better, I will say. They probably have the best built together, like, as far as depth and
I'd say so.
Just chemistry goes, because they've been together for, 3 years now?
Yeah, and I mean, that was a wild game, though.
Yeah.
I mean, the Wizards, man, still being competitive with these teams.
Bradley, baby, freedom.
Monday night, we had Spurs versus Nets, and, oh, man, if you didn't catch that one, Alan, that was wild. Did you were able to see what happened at the end of that game? So essentially, it's coming down to the clutch, right? The Nets are up 2, and Kyrie comes down for a wide-open layup. I mean, you literally, there's no way, and it's Kyrie Irving at this point.
It's like the Brandon Knight layup?
I don't even remember that one.
It was like a while ago. He misses a wide open fast break layup to force overtime.
But essentially that's what it is, yeah. So Kyrie misses the layup. The ball goes back. It ends up in, whose hands was it, man? Oh, DeJounte Murray. And DeJounte Murray brings the ball up the court. Harden, wraps around and, essentially fouls him. No call. The ball falls out. He's turned now completely around, facing away from the basket. Is able to pick the ball up inside the three-point line and shoot the 2 and send the game to overtime. Obviously, Nets ran away with it in overtime. But regardless, that was one of the craziest highlights I think I've seen of the year, that play. But anyways, moving into, obviously, Tuesday's slate, we had the 76ers taking down the Jazz in overtime. They've kind of fallen off a little bit recently. They're struggling as of late.
But it just takes, did you see going back, skipping ahead a little bit, that block on Rudy Gobert?
I did not see that block.
Wow.
Great stuff.
Wow. At the rim.
But,
by a small forward.
But you have to apologize to somebody. Joel Embiid.
Joel, you stepped it up. Good stuff.
Yeah, you happy for him?
I'm happy for you.
Going into Wednesday night's games, other good ones there. Besides the fact that, wow. Another missed game winner by Terrence Ross. Couldn't clutch it out.
It's getting old, man.
Magic are being woeful at this point. They're completely out of the playoff race at this very moment. Just wild stuff.
Sorry. Free. You know what? Free Vucevic.
Free Vooch. Yeah, no, actually,
Not a hot take.
I can get down with that one. I can get down with Free Vooch. I'm not going to lie to you.
They need to trade him away, get some nice picks, build a solid young core.
Yeah.
I think they're good.
And also that night, too, Dennis Smith Jr. and Mason Plumlee both recording triple-doubles. As teammates.
I like me some Dennis Smith. I remember when he used to play on the Knicks, right?
Incredible.
He was a rookie on the Knicks.
Drafted by the Mavericks. But yeah, he's always been crazy as far as athleticism goes.
Yeah,
he had so much potential, just never became the player we all kind of expected him to be.
I don't think he got into the right system, personally.
That could be fair too. And then another thing, obviously, this week we have to talk about because it happened that night, it happened over the course of that week. And it's been a little bit better this week, I'll say that. Officiating, Players coming out speaking on the officiating, how horrible and how bad it has been.
Especially with that Devin Booker case, in my opinion, that was one of the worst.
Double text. I think the double text was terrible.
Yeah.
Montrezl Harrell getting a technical foul for just simply saying "and one," and then Donovan Mitchell literally might cost
the
them a
reffing
big
was
game.
horrible this previous week going into the All-Star break, but this past week that we're going to go over, it's actually not bad.
No, actually really not bad. And on top of that too, forgot to mention PJ Washington came out, had 42 in one of the games this week. Harden averaged pretty much a triple-double that entire week. Jokic was pretty big. We'll get down and talk a little bit more about Jokic in a second here, but John Morant had a huge week. And then on top of that, Embiid with a 40-19 game that Wednesday. And TJ McConnell, triple-double with steals.
You don't see it anymore.
What is it, Alan?
Unheard of.
Absolutely. But then coming around, finishing up that week last week, obviously Thursday was the last games of the week, you know what I mean? Mitchell and Gobert both got fined for that stuff. And so on Thursday, Drew Holiday had a pretty nice game winner for the Bucks. I can't lie about it, not even for a second, over the Grizzlies.
Drew.
And Dame wrapped it up with 44 points and a win. On top of that, though, again, the Wizards beat the Clippers. Now, I think Kawhi Leonard was actually in that game, but, man.
Do we know what time it is?
It's Dame time, baby. And then coming over to this week's games, by the way, we had to cut off on Friday because there was just so many games and so much content that we really couldn't get to our Saturday benchmark that we usually do, so we stopped
Especially
Friday.
with time constraints on this.
Exactly. So the last big game that we had to talk about was this Thursday's game that happened between the Nets and the Celtics. The Nets kind of cruised to another victory, improving on what has already been a very great stretch since they've gotten Harden at this point.
Yeah, and when KD comes back and is at full strength, man, it's going to be a madhouse.
Did you know, by the way...
Harley in the nut house.
Oh, man. Don't look that up, kids. Don't look that up. 4 Kings starters with over 20 points in a game this week. And the win over... Guess who? Who'd they win over, Alan? The Rockets. What is it, Alan?
Is that a team?
Is that a team?
I didn't know that was a team.
Hold on. Hey. We'll talk a little bit more about that. By the way, if you haven't seen it already, go back
take.
Go back and watch it.
They are worse than the 2012-2013 Charlotte Bobcats.
No, could never be. That's the worst team of all time. But no. If you haven't seen it already, we made a prediction, I believe it was 2 to 3 weeks ago, about the Rockets and how their season was going. We'll get into more of that later.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but you remember now. We said it. Go back and check that out before you get it. John
Wall.
Ja also missed the game winner this week. There was a little bit of...
that should have been a foul. I did see that. That should have been a foul.
It was close, and then Tony Snell hitting a game winner over the Raptors Thursday to close out the week. So our players of the week, we split them into 2. Pre-All-Star game, post-All-Star game to this point. Pre-All-Star game had to be Jokic. I mean, insane numbers.
Joker!
32 points, 12 rebounds a game, 9.3 assists on top of that with 59% shooting, and a 37.5 three-point percentage, albeit there was not too many threes that were taken in the first place. But
for a center, that's still...
And Alan, tell me who was the post-All-Star game player of the week.
I don't want to. How
Why?
about you do it?
Why?
I don't want
Do it.
No.
Why?
I don't want it.
You're being difficult.
No. You do it. That's your butt, buddy. You do it.
Jimmy Buckets, baby.
Free him.
He doesn't need to be free because the Heat have won 9 out of the last 10 games
But
since Allen talked all that crap about freeing Jimmy.
Guess who's still ranked ahead of him in the power rankings?
We'll get there when we get there. Don't let them know yet. What does that matter?
Foreshadow.
This has nothing to do with that.
Foreshadow.
This is talking about freeing Jimmy, and you were wrong. You were dead wrong.
Free.
No such thing as a fluke, baby. The Heat coming at you. But aside from that, he had 27.5 points this week, 5.5 rebounds, and I think 9 assists.
9.5 assists.
9.5 assists on the average.
And shooting 40 or 53%.
And this is without Bam, by the way. He's been doing this and leading this Heat team for the past about 3 games without Bam. And speaking of Bam being out, now it's time to talk injuries.
Yeah.
So already Marcus Smart finally has returned to the Boston's lineup. He's going through that.
I think that's another reason why they're doing better, honestly.
That too, but he's only been back, I think, a couple of games in. He might have just returned to practice.
I think it was 3 games.
Yeah. McCollum was also cleared back to practice last week, so he's working through that. They look like they're going to be adding McCollum back to the lineup pretty soon here. Gary Harris is out with a thigh injury. That's
Did
a
you
little bit
see?
critical.
Sorry about this. Did you see that Michael Porter block?
No.
Oh man.
I haven't seen these blocks. They didn't come across my feed or anything like that.
Wow, he elevated and celebrated, baby.
D'Angelo Russell also coming back to practice, but obviously there was a big one that happened.
And the T-Wolves still suck.
What'd that have to do with anything?
What?
Oh, D'Lo. Yeah. No, you're right. But I mean, getting him back is big. But the biggest injury I think by far of the week, it happened a couple days ago. Embiid when he hyperextended his knee. Now they did clarify and they called it a bone bruise, no structural damage to the knee, so he should be 100% okay and he will be back soon. But obviously that was scary to see in the first place because you're talking about maybe the league MVP now getting hurt.
Especially me. I know about injuries. Trust me. I played football, basketball, all that jazz. I would never wish any injury on any player. I mean, that's just like.
In more lighthearted news though, Caris LeVert came back and made his Pacers debut. Was really happy to see that.
I got a question for you though.
What's that?
Are you constantly balling like Caris LeVert?
I could never. Sorry. Obviously, we talked about it though.
G.
Bam's still out, but half of the Raptors team has been out a couple games due to COVID. Half their team. Talking about Fred VanVleet, Pascal, all those guys, just
spicy.
All out.
More like spicy.
Oh man, hot take.
Hot takes.
That's it for injuries, though, so let's get into our power rankings. So coming in as one, this was actually pretty surprising, maybe to most fans, but if you've seen them play recently and seen how they're doing, the Suns, number one. Our new number one.
Did you see that story about Chris Paul being a dark horse with MVP?
I don't like that at all.
I don't think he put up the numbers, but I mean, I can understand where they're coming from with the Suns missing the playoffs last year and then being the second best team in the league now.
No, but that's true. But you got to remember how good they were in the bubble. They went 8-0 in the bubble.
They did go 8-0 in the bubble, but
and barely missed playoffs.
But do you think they would have did that this season without Chris Paul
averaging
18
points?
points?
Here's the thing: Booker is the heart and soul of that team. I think if there's anyone who should be, it'd be Booker.
No, but Booker's not putting up crazy numbers. It's like, I mean, he's putting up good numbers. He's averaging over 20 a game, but
that's true. Obviously, Nets stay where they are. Jazz were the ones that dropped pretty big here. The Bucks up to 5th. Alan loves it. He absolutely loves that.
And where are the Heat at, Dobby?
The Heat are coming up, okay? First and foremost, we got to talk about the Lakers dropping to 8th. Obviously, they've had a little bit of issues missing AD.
Hey, but did you see Kuzma stepped up this week a little bit?
He did. He had a pretty good game the other night. Hey. Did you see where he was saying that he was eye-banging LeBron?
Yeah, he was. He was doing this with LeBron.
Oh, man.
Looking into the windows of his soul.
Oh, boy.
Looking for that ball.
Heat rise big up to number 11 this week after winning 9 out of their last 10 games.
Still not top 10.
Okay, that's fine, Alan. That's fine. Celtics, obviously getting back into it. Warriors dropped big. They've lost a lot of games recently, have not looked good at all. It's been tough.
It's the little day-to-day injuries that I think are hindering the Warriors, honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
Along with the big ones, obviously.
Grizzlies and Hornets looking really good, though, as they make their playoffs push.
I like me some jaw.
Aside from that, we see the Wizards kind of staying around their same spot. Raptors dropping quite a bit. Everybody else is kind of in the pack there. And now, if you look really closely here, at number 29, there's a very special team there called the Houston Rockets.
I think we should switch those last two, personally.
Hey, I would. If
with
it
D'Lo being back, I think we're going to switch it. But give me 2 weeks.
2 weeks, he says.
2 weeks.
But what happened to the Rockets? They have now officially lost 15 games in a row. We did it. We said it here first. The Rockets, absolutely incredible achievement. To go on a streak of losing 15 games in a row.
2012, 2013 Bobcats.
What is it, Alan? What is it?
It's hot.
And?
Muy caliente.
Unheard of.
But it's more like mucho frio.
Oh, yeah. So, that's going to be it for the power rankings. So, let's go right back.
Hot take. More like cold take.
You good? You got that out of your system? Holy hell. That's going to conclude our power rankings. Obviously, though, now we can get into the rumor mill. So, as far as trades go, the Mavs have been interested in Love. Aldridge is no longer with the Spurs anymore. He's going to be gone.
Did you see? Kevin Love came back. Had a pretty decent game.
Nice. Good for him.
The Cavs, but they're still bad. So
Good for him. But Aldridge is gone. PJ Tucker will no longer be with the Rockets. Players that really want out, we should see them move fairly soon here.
I think Aldridge going to get picked up.
Well, yeah, he'd be traded. I want him on the Heat, honestly. If we can get something for him, I want him on the Heat.
I don't think there's any way you get him. Not on the contract he wants.
It has nothing to do with the contract. He's getting traded. It'd just be a 1-year rental.
Yeah, but you're going to have to take his contract. And I don't think the Heat want to do that. Because he's on a pretty decent deal. I think he's like their second highest player.
Yeah, but I think this is just his last year in the deal at this point.
Hey.
But aside from that, the Pistons also made a trade this week, trading for Diallo to the Thunder for...
Some foreigner. Some guy. Sorry, I apologize. Don't know how to say your name. If you want to give me a pronunciation. And a 2027 second-round pick.
Yeah, I would not do any... I would be doing nobody justice by trying to pronounce that name.
I'd probably be more disrespectful trying to pronounce it.
Than not.
We'll have it. We'll have something. We'll have it in the description or come across the screen.
Exactly. I'll put the text up so you see his name. But aside from that, the biggest news, obviously we weren't able to get it to you last week. This week, we'll tell you, Blake Griffin signing with Nets after the Pistons buyout, creating a new super team. I love it, but Blake is washed. I'm not going to lie about
he can still get it done. Let's keep it G.
Can he? Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's still washed.
But he doesn't need to be that Blake Griffin on the Clippers.
Exactly.
With Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie.
Yeah.
He needs to play defense and get an occasional basket.
Bucks wave Jalen Adams. No big G League news. But among the league news, and we have to talk about this. Myers Leonard, what did you do, man?
Come on.
That was so wrong.
That's just blatantly disrespectful. You don't do that.
I mean, it's a guy at this point, like, there's no way that you could even justify that. And then in his apology statement, he said he didn't understand what the word means. And to not fully understand a word, I guess that's fine.
If you don't understand something, why say it at all then?
But here's the thing. Saying that word, he used it in a manner, I mean, first off, it's a derogatory word, no matter how you want to phrase it or frame it. But the way he was saying that, he meant it to be disrespectful one way or another. So whether he knew the true meaning or not, he was trying to say something that was going to be disrespectful one way or another. And the thing for me is, he took a pause before he said it.
Yeah.
And then threw it out there, which shows he thought about it for a second and said, yeah, that's the word I'm going to say. So there was no excuse for that. And the apology just, I don't know. No. His penalty was, I feel, personally, it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
What was it, $50K and a week suspension, essentially?
Yeah. I didn't even think it was a week. I think it was like 3 games.
No, it was a week. It
was?
Yeah, it was a week. He was suspended from all team activities, and now he's going through a program and things like that. Shout out to Julian Edelman, who posted on Twitter that he reached out to Myers Leonard and said, if you want to, I'll come down to Miami or whatever, and you can meet my family. We can all go out to dinner and etc. So he can educate him, but one way or another, dude, it's just immature. He's 30 years old.
Yeah, that's a grown man. A professional. You're supposed to act in a professional manner, on and off the court, whatever you're doing in life.
On top of that, are athletes not trained for things like this too?
PR.
With your PR and everything? It's just, I don't know how you could do something like that. But in other league news, the Rockets are going to retire James Harden's jersey number. I don't get it.
Stupid. He did not bring y'all
wrong.
One chip.
He's wrong. He's wrong because he thinks James Harden doesn't deserve it. I just think it's weird they're retiring it while he's still playing. He does deserve it.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he did.
What did he do besides winning MVP?
Hold on. Does Charles Barkley not deserve to get his number retired by the Suns?
He does, but James Harden didn't compare to Charles Barkley's numbers on the Suns.
What? James Harden was an MVP.
Okay, he can be an MVP, but does he have the same amount of rebounds on the Rockets as Charles Barkley does on the Suns? Points. And, hold on, Charles Barkley was an MVP on the Suns.
Loser.
Charles Barkley was an MVP on the Suns.
I know he was.
So
that was my point.
No, but he did it way longer than
Dingus.
He's just loud and wrong.
Put the dunce
James
hat
Harden
on.
don't deserve
Put the dunce
he
hat
did
on
not
him.
bring no chip.
Dunce.
0. I give Yao Ming and
dunce.
Tracy McGrady jerseys retired before him.
You're an idiot. Other than that, Oladipo reportedly turned down a 2-year, $45 million contract with the Rockets. But that will wrap up our league news. Why would you do that again? Oh my word, Alan. You're so frustrating that sometimes it's just not even funny.
No, it's ridiculous.
That ruins our green screen.
Well, it happens. I'll buy a new one.
So going into the biggest thing, obviously the All-Star game, we got to talk about it. Talk about what happened with the dunk contest, etc., etc. So dunk contest, worst ever. It was this worst.
It was not good.
It was not good.
But was I right though? What? Cassius put on a show.
What are you talking about?
Cassius Stanley, the first dunk, he came in nuts.
It was okay. No, but here's my thing, bro. I got frustrated because I hear all the announcers, oh, that's a 50. That's a 10. That's a 10 dunk right there. And it's like, come on, dude. No,
it wasn't. No,
it was not.
But let's keep it G. They're all young. None of them are over 24.
That's fine, but it's a dunk contest. And
Yeah,
I'm not going to
they
be like, oh,
should've
he's younger than him, so that makes sense. And I'm just saying the dunks were incredibly boring.
Some of them. No, there were some good ones.
They were okay, but the problem is
there were some good ones.
You had 3 players participating.
Yeah.
There was only 2 rounds, and one of the rounds it was just one dunk.
Yeah, because people don't know how to make
So
dunks.
shout out to Anthony Simons.
Anthony Simmons.
It's Simons.
It is?
Yes, it's pronounced Simons.
What? Why?
I don't know. I didn't name him.
Wow,
It's not my last
kind
name.
of.
It's Simons. I heard it on air as Charles Barkley kept messing it up too. But, I mean, just good job by Anthony Simons in the worst dunk contest ever.
Fun fact: he got drafted straight out of high school
Nice.
from IMG Academy.
Nice. 3-point contest. Dame didn't participate. Conley replaced Donovan Mitchell. And Curry.
Hey, I will say though,
Ooh, Curry.
Conley put on a show. Like I said, he's a decent 3-point shooter. He almost took it. He almost stole it.
Yeah, but you don't watch the 3-point contest for Mike Conley. I'm
No,
sorry.
but he put up great numbers there.
That's fine. Curry
But he ain't
dominated.
Lotto.
Curry absolutely dominated. 31
He
points
made it
in the
look
round.
easy.
He made it look so. There was one where it didn't even touch the net.
Yeah.
It just dropped just right through. Rising Stars game, not much to say about that one. They just kind of announced the teams. There was no game played.
Yeah.
But the actual All-Star game, Steph Curry and Dame went crazy.
Hey, but wait a minute.
All over, half-court shot.
Not just them. Giannis.
I give it to him.
My boy.
Perfect shooting night.
What's up? 16 for 16, 35 points? Come on.
He did it.
He got active.
I get it to
And
him.
it wasn't just all dunks. Let's keep it G.
And now he's officially the first Kobe Bryant All-Star Game MVP, correct? Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Another fun fact. Kobe Bryant and Giannis trained every summer after the season was over when Kobe was alive. RP the GOAT.
Hats off to a legend. 24, baby. You know, 8/24, Mamba Day is my birthday.
Oh, that's crazy. Wow.
I hate you so much. Weekly preview now to close out our show here. Best upcoming games of the week. Monday this week, Knicks versus Nets. I like that match.
It's not like a blockbuster game. Obviously, you have the Nets who are the Nets, but the Knicks are, okay, they're a middle-of-the-pack team. But I think it's going to be a great game.
I do
Blake
too.
Griffin on Julius Randle. I think Julius Randle's going to dominate him personally.
I think it should be a fun game to watch. RJ Barrett's coming off a career night too.
But I don't think they're going to be able to keep up with the firepower of the
No,
Nets.
they won't. And then also Suns versus Grizzlies. I like that matchup a lot.
Yeah.
Jaw's going crazy. Booker's going nuts. Oh,
Chris Peasy.
Yes, sir. Going into Tuesday, though, Jazz versus Celtics.
That's going to be a good game. Fun fact, I like the Celtics win this one.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Jazz
that's
look
why.
rough.
With
I like
Jazz's-
the Celtics.
With the Jazz's skid recently.
Especially with Marcus Smart coming back too.
Yeah. Aside from that, we got the Knicks versus the Sixers. Again, the Knicks are making their way. Hopefully, Joel Embiid's back by then. I doubt he will be.
He probably won't. It's probably 2
But if he is back by then, should be a fantastic matchup.
Yeah, should be an easy win for the 76ers.
Wednesday next week, Bucks.
If Joel Embiid doesn't play, the Knicks may take it. May steal it.
If he doesn't, I think they take it.
Yeah.
But Wednesday, Bucks versus 76ers.
You already
Once
know.
again, if Embiid is back,
Doesn't matter.
top 2 teams in the East potentially.
Doesn't matter. You know who's winning.
Yeah, the Sixers.
The Greek Freak.
The Sixers.
And Drew.
The Sixers. And then finish us off Friday next week, Blazers versus Mavs. Dame Dollar versus Luka. Always exciting when they play. Nah, Dame time ain't beating Luka. Not Luka, baby. No way. The Doncic.
You heard it here first. Blazers, right here. When and CJ McCollum may play. Maybe. You never know.
He might. Players to watch for this week, as well as teams to watch. You got Devin Booker and the Suns. They're going to be really fun going forward. Being right now, again, number 1 in our power rankings. They might take over the first seed in the West, which is crazy, thinking about it from last year.
Exactly. Team that didn't make the playoffs, just slightly.
Yeah.
But now they're looking at the best team.
LaMelo Ball still in the starting lineup. They officially announced for the rest of the year he will be in the starting lineup. I'm with that.
He's the
LaMelo
best player on the
looks
team. Sorry.
Good. No, I don't know about the best yet. Close.
What?
Close. I'm not going to say he's better than all their other options on the team right now.
Who?
Like Scary Terry.
No, better. Sorry.
Oh, man.
Sorry. No hot take. He has more points, assists, and rebounds than Scary Terry this year.
Oh, don't know if he's got more points.
I'm sure he certainly does.
I don't think so.
We'll see.
But aside from that, Colin Sexton. Watch Sexland over there in Cleveland. Love that.
Hey, he is an offensive threat. He can shoot from anywhere. He can make it happen. He can take to the rim. Not much of a dunker, fancy, all that, but
Yeah.
he gets buckets.
Definitely watch the Blazers and the Nuggets. The Nuggets did lose last night pretty badly, but aside from that, they've been on a real good run recently as well, I'd say. They've been a really good team. And the Blazers, again,
No, actually, remember what I said earlier about the Celtics having the most complete team? The Nuggets may have it.
I think they do.
They have a complete
but here's
starting
the thing,
five.
It really did hurt them when they lost Jeremy Grant.
Yeah.
They really did. It's showing because of how good he's playing with the Pistons. Aside from that, though, T.J. McConnell. Let's see if he can do it again.
I need 15. 15 steals.
15?
And I'll give you my soul.
Has anyone ever done 15 in a game? McConnell will be the first to do it. Watch it.
I think
Alan said it here first. McConnell first to do it. Other than that, Jimmy Buckets. Watch this guy. He might force his way into the MVP conversation. He might force his way there.
Free Jimmy.
It's not going to be free Jimmy. And then other than that, watch the Hornets and especially the 10th seed in the East. Because remember, they're doing a play-in this year again.
Oh, they are. They are doing the play-in.
The play-in, and man, if you really if you look in the West, it's pretty much the 8 teams that are there.
Yeah,
look
it's
like
cut and everyone else is
cut
back.
dry. Exactly. But if you look at the East, it's a beautiful mess at this point because there's so many teams.
They're fighting for that 8th and 7th and even the 6th because they're I think 2.5 games back from the 6th.
Exactly. The Heat right now are in the 4th seed, which is crazy because they're only 2 games over 100. Or 500, excuse me. But beyond that, this week I'm expecting the Heat to continue their dominant run, especially with getting Bam back. And aside from that, I really like the Hornets this week a lot.
You know who I like this week?
Who?
Take a guess. Take a shot in the dark.
Crazy. Maybe the Bucks. Aside from that, I think the Lakers are still going to struggle without Anthony Davis.
Is there a timeline on his return?
I think 2 weeks for reevaluation. Yeah, 2 weeks.
Stay in the playoffs, and you're good. If you can make it to the playoffs and then get Anthony Davis back, y'all be fine.
Other than that, the Nets, I want to see them with Blake Griffin in action.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a show.
And on top of that, with KD as well.
Yeah, KD, Blake, Kyrie, James.
But other than that, guys,
chef's kiss.
Signing off for the day. I'm Dobby.
I'm GIHF.
He's Alan and a loser. And this has been Taking the Charge.